Welcome to another edition of the Recruiting Scoop. I'm Jared Johnson, and today I'm talking about offensive line recruiting for the 2025 recruiting cycle, specifically Texas Tech's offensive line haul. Now, I produced a video about a week or so ago talking about the offensive line in terms of who Texas Tech will be recruiting, how many guys I expected to take. And Texas Tech entered June without any offensive line commits, and they picked up 4 in what I call, official visitor month, commit season, whatever you want to call it. There's a lot of movement. A lot of guys make business decisions, decide where they're going to end up in June because of these official visits, and they crisscross the country, go check out their top targets. On the other hand, the schools, they get serious as well in terms of the guys that they invite to visit are their top targets, guys they are seriously considering adding to their recruiting class. And Texas Tech had a goal going into June to land 4 offensive linemen, and that's exactly what they did. And they're 4 good ones. They're all 3-star guys. Only one is from Texas, and that's who I'm going to start off talking about. That's Patrick McMath out of Katy, Texas, 6'4", 255 pounds. He might be a little heavier than what he's listed at in terms of his recruiting profile at this point. Katy, Texas, obviously Katy High School, one of the best programs in the state and in the country, and so you love that. And Texas Tech has, I wouldn't say a pipeline established, but they have good connections in terms of the coaching staffs of the 2 programs, which is a great thing to have. McMath himself, when talking to him, he told me his best assets are his feet and getting out in space and road grading for creating running lanes for running backs or receivers on wide receiver screens. That's a great way to start off this offensive line class. But they weren't done that right there. Next guy I want to talk about is Elias Gillan, and he's out of South Dakota. Now, this guy, I've been told by a very good source that he's a freak, one of the most underrated players in the entire country. And quite honestly, they were surprised that in terms of these sources that he wasn't rated higher. But 3-star recruit, measured out as almost 6'6", 295 pounds. When you see him, he just looks like an offensive lineman. The pictures of him, he's just a big dude. Really good addition. I think Oregon State was in the mix, some other schools, but really a diamond in the rough. Who in Texas Tech, in my opinion, from what I've heard, believes they got an absolute steal in Elias Gillan. Now, Gary Malley is one of 2 offensive linemen Texas Tech got from Nebraska. And I think college football fans all remember all those corn-fed offensive linemen that Nebraska used to roll out there, the Cornhuskers, when they were, winning national championships and pushing people around, especially in the running game back in the 90s and before that with Coach Osborne. So I like getting offensive linemen out of Nebraska, those farm-strong, country-strong dudes. And that's exactly what Gary Malley appears to be, around the same rankings as Gillan. And then the next guy I'm going to talk about, another Nebraska dude, Ren Brown, about 133 in the country in terms of his position. Him and Ren Brown are 11 and 12 in terms of prospects in Nebraska. Malley, 6'5", 250. He's looked at as an offensive tackle, but I can see him playing inside as well. But a good addition. Again, I like getting guys from offensive linemen from Nebraska. And that's for the next guy, Ren Brown, who was the 4th guy to commit. From what I've told, he measured out at 6'6", 290. He's listed at 270, but he's actually 290 in terms of when he took his official visit. He got a late offer from Kansas State. Oregon State was in the mix, but he chose the Red Raiders. So, really good haul. I think it's mission accomplished in terms of Texas Tech's offensive lineman recruiting, like their target going into June. They hosted at least double that amount of offensive linemen throughout the month. And, yeah, they missed out on some. But with this 4, it's a numbers game. I like the potential of all these guys. Ren Brown, Elias Gillan, both were like state champion and really good shot put and discus throwers, so really strong. Obviously, they come in, they get measured and all that. all the length requirements in terms of their frame. They graded out. For everything I've heard, all the 4 of these guys graded out as like plus in terms of what they look for Texas Tech in their frame. So it's not a star-studded in terms of a bunch of 4-star guys. Like I think the 2024 group was really highly rated. But again, mission accomplished in terms of what Texas Tech was looking to do this month in recruiting offensive linemen. So with that, I want to thank you for watching, and until next time.